You ever had one of those days when the world just decides to test how far your patience can stretch before it snaps? Mine started out simple enough. I was out back stacking firewood, thinking about dinner and the sound of loons over the lake, when I heard that crunch of tires on gravel. You know that sound. Heavy, slow, the kind that means someone's coming where they don't belong. I figured it was a lost tourist. Turns out, it was worse. A pearl-white SUV pulled up, gleaming like it thought it was too good for dirt roads, and out stepped this woman in heels and a tailored blazer, the kind of outfit that's allergic to nature. She slid off her sunglasses like she was about to order a drink at a country club. "We need to talk," she said. I just leaned on the porch rail, tried not to laugh. "Well, you found me. What's the occasion?" She introduced herself as Victoria Lane, president of the Maple Ridge Homeowners Association. You know the type, smug, clipped voice, the kind of person who's never met a boundary she didn't want to redraw. She opened a folder and started reading off violations. Said my cabin didn't meet aesthetic standards, my firewood pile was unsightly, and my private road didn't conform to community regulations. Now, I live 2 miles north of Maple Ridge, on land I bought outright. My road, my lake, my taxes. So, I told her that, calmly, and she smiled. That tight little HOA smile that says, "I don't care what's true, I have a clipboard." "Well, Mr. Rains," she said, "the board voted to expand our jurisdiction last month. Your property now falls under Maple Ridge Authority." I swear, I thought she was joking. But when I laughed, she didn't. She actually threatened eviction from land I owned. That's when I realized this wasn't just bureaucracy gone wild. This was power. Plain and simple. I told her, "Victoria, that road you just drove in on? That's mine too. Every inch. And the lake? Bought and paid for." She didn't blink. Said they'd had it surveyed. I pulled out my phone and showed her the county parcel map, clear as day. Private land. No easement. She went pale for half a second, then said, "Blocking access would be considered hostile action." I leaned in close enough for her perfume to smell like politics and said, "Then I guess we're at war." She stormed off, heels cracking on gravel like gunfire, and I swear, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. 3 days later, a fat envelope showed up in my mailbox. No postage, HOA letterhead, fines, warnings, even a map they'd drawn in red crayon that magically stretched their borders around my property, my lake, and part of the woods behind me. I poured myself a whiskey and called my friend Lily, land use attorney, sharp as a nail. She laughed when I told her. Said they had no legal authority, no zoning approval, nothing. "They're bluffing," she said, "trying to scare you into submission." So, I decided not to flinch. That afternoon, I put up a steel chain across my road, hung a big sign, "Private property, no HOA access without written permission." Installed motion cameras, solar-powered, pointed right at the gate. 2 days later, guess who showed up? Not Victoria, some guy with a clipboard and a wrench. Big guy, polo shirt, HOA logo on the chest. He started unscrewing my post like he owned the place. I called the sheriff, gave them my parcel number. The dispatcher's tone changed real quick. "We've had issues with Maple Ridge before," she said. By the time a deputy arrived, the guy had half the chain undone. I came down the path, phone recording, and said, "You picked the wrong driveway, pal." He mumbled something about community access. I showed him my deed. "Private land. You're trespassing." The deputy sided with me, made him reattach the chain himself. The best part? The deputy smiled and said, "You'd be surprised how many folks these HOAs think they can bully." But Victoria wasn't done. A week later, I got served. The HOA filed a lawsuit claiming historic community access to my lake. Said they had implied rights. Lily nearly choked laughing when she read it. Implied rights? What's next? Implied ownership of the moon. Court day came. The judge, older woman, sharp eyes, flipped through the HOA's paperwork like it smelled bad. She asked Victoria if she had a deed, easement, or zoning approval. Nothing. The judge sighed and said, "Then why are we here? Case dismissed." You'd think that'd be the end, right? Nope. After the loss, things got darker. My mailbox got smashed, not once, twice. Deep tire marks showed someone had reversed over it on purpose. Then, one night, my security cam caught 2 figures creeping by the lake with flashlights, planting survey flags, and spray painting trees. They were trying to fake a new boundary line. I called Lily again. She showed up in person, this time with a county investigator. Turns out the equipment they used was municipal grade, the kind issued to city contractors, not civilians. Somebody inside the county was helping them. That's when I realized this wasn't just a feud over property lines. This was corruption. And then, the fire. It was 3 in the morning when I smelled the smoke. My old woodshed was already in flames, the fire creeping toward the cabin. I barely got it out with an extinguisher and a hose. Lost half my tools, part of the wall. The fire marshal confirmed, arson. The county locked down my road, declared it restricted access. 3 days later, Victoria Lane was arrested. Not for the fire, but for fraud and misuse of public funds. Apparently, she'd been funneling HOA money into a private account to pay a consultant, a disgraced ex-county worker who'd falsified maps and land surveys. Her little empire collapsed in a week. 2 board members resigned. The vice president, her nephew, was arrested later for the fire itself. My trail cam caught him on a neighboring property, carrying a gas can. When the local news broke the story, my quiet little lake went viral overnight. Man defeats HOA land grab. Reporters showed up at my gate, asking how it felt. I just said, they tried to take what wasn't theirs. I just happened to be standing in the way. But it didn't stop there. The feds got involved. Turned out Victoria and her crew had sold fake lake access permits, pocketing over $500,000. People had bought homes thinking they were lakefront when they weren't. Fraud, racketeering, money laundering, the whole 9 yards. They asked me to testify. I wore my best shirt, which isn't saying much, and told the court exactly what happened. No anger, just facts. When the defense tried to say I denied community enjoyment, the judge cut them off. Mr. Rains, did you ever sell access to the lake? No, ma'am. Then that's all we need. Victoria got 11 years. Her nephew got 8. The rest, 5 and 6. Maple Ridge HOA was dissolved by court order. The neighborhood's half empty now. A few families stayed, started a small community council. No rules, no dues, just people trying to rebuild. The county put up a new sign at my road, private road, protected by county injunction. I rebuilt my shed with fireproof siding, added more cameras, more peace of mind. Some nights, when the water's still and the stars are out, I think about how crazy it all got. All because one woman couldn't stand the idea that someone else had a piece of the world she couldn't control. Last month, a lady showed up at my gate, maybe 60, kind face. She handed me an envelope with one of those fake lake passes inside. Said she and her husband bought here to retire, didn't know what the HOA was really doing. I'm sorry, she said. We're moving out. Just wanted you to know not everyone agreed with her. I burned that pass in the fire pit that night. Watched the paper curl and turn black, the ink sliding away like it never mattered. And maybe that's the real lesson. Control, greed, all of it. None of it lasts. But truth does. So yeah, I still live here. Same cabin, same lake, same quiet mornings with coffee on the dock. The difference now? When I look across that water, I see every fight, every lie, every laugh I had to hold back just to keep what was mine. You can build fences, or you can build respect. Only one of those lasts. Tell me, what would you have done if someone tried to evict you from your own land? Would you fight back, or just move on? Drop a comment below. I really want to hear how you see it. Because out here, sometimes justice doesn't come with sirens or lawyers. Sometimes it just comes with a locked gate, a camera, and a man too stubborn to let go.